telecoms. Probably the best well-known one is north of here, Cybermoor in Cumbria, right at the top of the Pennines, which is a community co-op providing a whole range of online services. Trains residents in ICT skills, it trades, sells computer consumables, hires equipment, does consultancy to local authorities, all sorts of things. Skills training, commonly linked to recycling, providing useful service and enabling people who might be unemployed, might have learning difficulties, helps them learn new skills. Even the community-owned snow plough, again in Cumbria, they got frequently cut off. They got fed up with the county council snow plough not getting through, so they funded a retired engineer. They passed the hat round, basically, funded a retired engineer to turn an old tractor into a plough, and volunteers drive it, and it'll now go and clear and grit roads, and the county council actually pays them to go and clear and grit other roads as well. So, I mean, all this is really just to sort of demonstrate the sort of breadth and the flexibility of the community ownership project. Now, what are the advantages of community ownership? Well, there they are. The profit stays local. You don't have shareholders 100 miles away who don't really know what's going on. The community takes the decisions, brings people together, tremendously good in building social capital. I mean, we've found that once people come together in one project, the sort of momentum and enthusiasm develops for taking on other enterprises. People before profit, hope that goes without saying, though remember, profit is not a dirty word. And resilience. I mentioned the long term. I mean, at the moment, my slide's slightly out of date. There are over 260 community shops in Britain now. 10% of all village shop closures are saved through community ownership, and they're continuing to open. And it's worth saying that the survival rate of community-owned community shops, is 97%. And that compares with the average survival rate for businesses in this country of 47%. That's pretty impressive. And I mean, again, I think I can't overstress this point. That success rate is very much due to having sort of good plans and good support to help them develop the plans at the outset, as well as, of course, the huge amount of community commitment. I don't know where these figures come from, but I gather that community-owned shops have sort of returned £200,000 so far to their own communities. They're beginning to sort of reverse this slightly insidious trend of the way in which sort of money leaks out of communities, particularly rural communities, and leaks into Tesco and others. And just put up some pictures, because I like pictures. That's a community shop in Herefordshire. It's a converted church. It's quite remarkable. They've got a shop and a post office in a church as part of a multi-purpose community amenity centre. There's another community shop located in a former Dovecote. As I said, we're aware of 5 community shops in North Yorkshire. Sadly, I haven't got any pictures of them. Here's a picture of some happy people in Warwickshire. This is a community-supported agriculture scheme, and the Making Local Food Work programme has supported about 1,000 community food enterprises since 2007. So how do you do it? How does all this happen? Some key needs. Ideas. I've given you some examples. Your own communities will have your own. You know what you need. I don't. Belief. It's actually quite hard work, all this. So you need a core of people who really believe in the project, who can enthuse others, and will handle the setbacks. And we'll come on to sort of plan and support in a bit more detail. They apply to most types of project, and they're not sequential, because part of your plan will be building community support, and that support will help you develop the plan. And there's plenty of sources of advice available, including at the back of this room, And so here I'm simply going to just outline, to give you a taster of the main steps in setting up a community enterprise. This isn't intended as a master class or a training session. I'm not competent to do that. It's just a taster, give you an idea. And, we'll just whiz through these slides, the core group, how are you going to make it profitable, what's the market going to be, and above all, consulting the community and keeping them informed all the way through. Because you and your core group might think it's a really brilliant idea to set up a community wind farm or something, but, quite a number of others in the community might think it's actually a very bad idea. And so if you want success and community support, you have to carry people along with you. You'll need a business plan. You know what business plans are. We won't bother. But if you haven't got one, you won't get any finance from anywhere. Finance. When we were running the Village Core Community Shops program, we told communities that they needed 3 sources of finance primarily. Loans from social lenders, there's some here, and they will specialize in lending to social enterprises. Grants still have a role. I mean, you won't usually get grants now for sort of long-term support with running costs, but they can be made as a sort of one-off contribution to startup costs. And the theme I keep returning to, getting it right at the outset. So you might get funding direct from a grant maker like the lottery, or through a program such as those run by Plunket, which will be funded by the lottery or other grant-making foundations. And then finally, the community. It's usually crucial, and we certainly always insisted on it, to demonstrate community support with the venture. And you can do conventional fundraising, you can do all sorts of things that Jonathan's been talking about. One of the things that we rather advocate is a community share issue, because the latter really embeds community ownership into the venture. You all go and put in some money, you get a share. It's a cooperative. Legal structure. No. Don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. There are plenty of people who, if you want to go down this road, can advise you. A couple of good booklets from Cooperatives UK, but plenty more. All sorts of people around the back there will be able to tell you. And just in case you think this is all really quite easy, here are a few of the other things you've got to worry about: staff, premises, marketing, suppliers, health and safety, and so on. But remember, if you want to go down this road, and this is all about a way of making your services that you want to have, keeping them local, keeping them there for the long haul when traditional grant funding streams have dried up. That's why you're looking at this. It's a business. It'll be hard work, but you can do it, because plenty of other people have done it. Here we are, more happy people. These are actually some of the shareholders of the George and Dragon Cooperative Pub in Hudswell, near Richmond in North Yorkshire. And they're waving their share certificates on the day that they secured the purchase of the pub. And at Hudswell, they've really got the bug. They've got the pub, and now they're opening a shop in the pub. They're opening a small library in the pub. It can be endless. So just a reminder of why enterprise. The traditional grant-based funding is cut. A resilient trading base builds community capacity, and it focuses on what people want. And I did this slide before I realized how many advisors you've got in this room. Those are just some of the national bodies. But you go around and talk to, and really do go around and talk to the people there. I mean, I'm not sure I've ever been to a conference as well attended and as well supported with advisors as this one. And if you want to talk to us, there we are. And I've just put down there the advice line for Village SOS, which is open, lottery funded, run by us. So thanks very much, and enjoy the rest of the day.